Alrighty, y'all. We are doing something kind of fun today. We are making a wearable not for a human, but you guessed it, for a dog. Or maybe you didn't guess it, maybe you guessed cat. It's for a dog. If you didn't know, I do have a manager. Her name is Lucia. If you love my videos, you should thank her because she's the reason I am able to do this job and still pay my bills. She negotiates all my deals, and she isn't based here. She lives in California, but she has this adorable dog named Milo. And I've always said I don't want to put in the effort to make clothing for a cat or a dog if they're just gonna rip it off and hate wearing it. But Milo actually has a ton of sweaters and likes to wear clothing, so I'm willing to make something for him. Now, because Lucy is in California and isn't going to be back in New York until a few weeks from now, we are trying to make this sweater happen virtually. But lucky for me, as y'all already know, all my project planning lives in Milanote. They are also kindly sponsoring this video. So if you've watched my previous videos, you know I have a Milanote board for everything. I have a yarn stash board. This is literally a digital version of every single yarn that I own. I have a 2026 project ideas board where I've laid out everything that I'm hoping to make this year. To make a new board, all you do is just drag one in. So if I call this dog, for example, it actually auto-populates a dog bone. And then you can choose from hundreds of templates. So for example, a mood board would look something like this. I already have a board for this project, and I basically had Lucia put in first a few photos of Milo wearing sweaters just so I could see what type of clothing he wears right now. I had her drop in some inspo photos from Pinterest. She's really dropping hints that she wants to match with Milo. This is so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. I also love this idea of doing little matching hair and neck scarves if you don't want to do a full wearable. These are really cute, but I also saved some inspo of my own on Pinterest just to get a better idea of the construction of the sweater. Okay, these fuzzy ones are so freaking cute. I don't think I would necessarily do this for Milo because it's probably a little bit too warm for California. But one thing I love about Milanote is the web clipper tool. So I don't have to copy and paste or download this image. I can just click right here, pick what board I want to save it to, and if we go back to Milanote, it will just pop up right here on the side. I can drag it in. It also automatically populates the link in case I need to reference that later. This little sweater is so freaking cute. I do really love the idea of doing stripes, and I do think I'm leaning more towards knitting it versus crocheting, but I do kind of like this wraparound closure. This looks like it'd be much better ventilated for a warmer climate. So I went ahead and dragged these in, and then you can see over here on the right we have a bunch of yarns. I just copied and pasted this from my yarn stash board. I knew I wanted to use a doubled up lace weight mohair just because I have the most color options for that. And speaking of color, you can see every single yarn has a little kind of color swatch. This is one of my favorite tools. You just drag it in, and you can actually double click and pull the color straight from the image. That's how I made all these color cards. So I told Lucia to look and tell me which colors she liked, and she said these two, metallic copper and sycamore. I will say I kind of like the idea of adding a third color just because the green and brown is very earthy, and I think it could be fun to incorporate a third brighter color, especially because Lucia does wear a lot of color herself. So for example, what if we took these two colors and then added maybe a light blue? I also really like how a kind of grassy green looks with a pale pink. I think I'm leaning more towards this brown, green, blue situation. So you can see Milanote for me is, I would describe it as the next step beyond my Pinterest and Instagram saves. It's where you take your inspo and you organize it and start planning materials and just move something from only an inspo pick to an actual actionable project. And you already know the deal. If you want to try Milanote for yourself, you can click the link in my description down below and use it for free with no time limit. And I'm thinking Milo low-key has a kind of large head, so I feel we should start off by making some really stretchy ribbing to go around the neck. And the ribbing, I think I'm just gonna make one color, so I'm probably gonna go with this green. I'm realizing I probably need to ask Lucia for some measurements of Milo or clothing that he's worn in the past. I'm gonna try and get this ribbing started, but I actually have to head out in 2 hours. I have another Indian wedding in May, and if you saw my photos from my last Indian wedding that was in Cancun, I turned some freaking looks. I was getting gassed by the aunties. I rented all my looks from a brand called Ica Fashions. They have a physical showroom in New York, which is really nice because you can go and try stuff on. And so I'm gonna make another trip to pick 2 looks for my next wedding. And then after that, my friend Meg is in a band and they're playing a show, so I'm gonna go see her perform. I was out of town the last time they played. Then I should be able to spend the rest of the night knitting. I mean, technically this project should be pretty fast in terms of surface area. I just think the like free-handing portion of it may lead it to take a little longer. I feel like every Meg appearance in my vlog, we're just getting itchy. Say hi.
Welcome back to my channel.
So cute. You just need to wind like these 2 together, like this. I don't need a ton either. So just until like a little ball.
Grace's assistant. Grace's intern. Hey guys, look at my nails. Can I show them?
Yeah.
You my nails. How do I show them so it's like showing?
I don't know. Yeah. Okay, hi guys. I'm sorry, I'm like laughing because I'm wearing like an oversized blazer, but when I see myself only upper body, it's really giving like Zoom job interview. Anyway, look how freaking cute this is looking. Are you joking? So when I was doing just like the green, brown, and the regular blue, I was like, something is off. It wasn't really giving. So I decided to add this light blue, and I feel like it makes the color combo just work so much better. I'm still trying to figure like the rules of color combos and like having different like tones or shades, or I don't know. All I know is that you kind of need a combination of dark and light colors. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because I just remembered I carried the seltzer around in my purse all day and it's like on the verge of like spilling over, but I guess it's not. So I did like the ribbing for this part, and then I was doing increases along this seam, and then we got to kind of more like this is the neck width, and then we got to more of like the chest width for the dog. And it's kind of hard to tell because I'm still on shorter needles. I might switch to a longer cord, but I made 2 little holes for the little arms. And so from here, I made this little sketch, but I realized this sketch is probably not gonna look like anything. Like, does that look like anything to you? It definitely doesn't. Basically, we're gonna be like decreasing to kind of get this like curve so that it doesn't cover the dog's junk. Actually, let me just show you in Milanote. I think it'll make a little bit more sense. So over here on the right, I didn't want to have Lucia have to like measure Milo. It's not that deep. I just had her send me a link to like a sweater that Milo already has. So you can kind of see the construction here. It's just 2 holes for the arms and then it curves over the back. And then that sweater is from Target. So I just took like the pet t-shirt sizing chart from Target, and she said that Milo is like between a small and a medium, so I'm just using the measurements that are on here. I also found a pattern that's pretty helpful. It's called the Edinburgh sweater, I think. It's in my downloads. I can just drag it straight into this board, and you can see it just automatically populates the title, the first page of the PDF. It'll just make it a lot easier for me to reference this in the future. And even though this sketch makes no sense to anyone else, I've been keeping track of like my stitch counts and my measurements in here. So I'm also gonna take a photo of this. And then I can hop over to the Milanote app and upload the image directly from my camera roll. And it will pop up under this phone icon on the desktop version, and I can just drag it in. I think I'm gonna drag a little note in here as well and just type out like the stitch counts that I use because my handwriting is really not that stellar. And so you can see the multi-medium aspect is really nice because when it comes to drawing sketches, I usually do it in my physical notebook. But then when it comes to like taking notes on like number of stitches, number of rows, I used to do it in my notes app, but now I can just go ahead and do it like directly into my Milanote board through the Milanote app. I can already tell that after I post this, all my friends with dogs are going to be asking for sweaters for their dogs. So I just want to remember how I made this so I don't have to like re-figure it out next time. Oh, and since this is honestly not taking that long, and based on the photos Lucia pinned, she clearly wants to twin with Milo. I sent her a link to my 2026 project ideas board, which is enormous, but I told her to look at any of the accessories and see if she likes anything. I obviously don't have time to make her like an entire wearable. And she did say she liked the idea of a giant scrunchie. This is kind of a deep cut, but like a year or two ago, I made a how many scrunchies can I crochet in a day video and didn't know what to do with all of them. She took a bunch of them last time she visited and apparently actually wears them. So let's go over to my crochet board because I know I've been pinning a lot of accessories. I mean, like this flower one is so freaking cute. And I think what she is envisioning is something like this, like a huge, super fluffy one. She did mention that she likes to have a scrunchie that isn't like a bun topper. I think the issue with a lot of crochet scrunchies is they only look fluffy if you wrap them around the bun or ponytail one time, but she wants it to be more functional where she can like twist it around 2 times and it still looks really fluffy, which just means that I'm gonna have to make this like the most enormous scrunchie known to man. I'm actually about to see her. She, Meg, and I are going to meet in Central Park and get lunch together. I'm so excited. I'm also, oh God, I'm running late. Okay, throw on my rings. You'll probably recognize most of these. It's a stack that I've been wearing almost every day. And guys, it's not even warm today. It's like literally in the 40s, but I'm shooting a few outfits for a video for Polen. They're the brand behind these bags, which I'm sure you recognize because I carry them a lot. Just such nice handcrafted leather and the most unique designs. But for the video, I'm styling pieces that I've made for spring, but it's not spring yet. And so this outfit is my little crochet square top, but I wanted to elevate it a little bit with like an oversized blazer and trousers. I actually love this outfit. And I think this bag and this color is just perfect for all black outfits because it just adds like a little very subtle pop of color. I don't know if this is even warm enough, but it looks really sunny outside, which I'm hoping will mean it's warmer. I'm just gonna wear this freaking gray coat that you guys know I wear literally like 50% of the time in the winter. How are these so dirty every time? This is definitely a good outfit for my little office siren glasses. Oh, and for scent, we have one that I don't think I've mentioned before. This is Love Club from Noise. Obsessed with their packaging. And this scent, if I had to describe it, it's like a spicy floral. I feel like florals tend to lean really girly, but this one is like very like sexy and a little bit deeper. I think this is a great spring scent if you don't really identify with like the traditional kind of like flirty feminine floral scents. And one thing I love about Polen's bags is they are freaking practical. Even if they look small, they are quite capacious. So my entire craft bag is fitting right in there. And oh my goodness gracious, we are so late. Okay, let's go. Say hi, vlog. Hi, vlog. Nice. Oh. Yeah, this is eating.
Oh, 8.
Oh my God.
What's 4 plus 4?
So cute. You're being so dance mom right now. She is beautiful. We munch. Oh.
Wait, that's a pretty colorway. We're gonna be so cute. It's giving Princess Bob.
It is giving Princess Bob.
What's your favorite? Yours.
Day in my life.
Day in my life.
Yeah. What is
I met up
this?
with a fan who keeps this weed mom. She's like
Weed mom?
She's like a stoner, but a mom.
Wow. I got that from the handle.
And in real life, too.
cold while I was walking home, but it is so freaking warm in my room. I kind of feel like I've been wearing very similar pieces in all my videos, but I kind of like that because I don't want to be one of those creators who's constantly pushing like new product. If I accept gifting for clothing, I'm gonna pick pieces that I'm gonna wear all the time. So like, I've definitely been wearing this suede jacket in a bunch of my videos, and I've been wearing this mohair sweater from Nadia and Julia. And then under this sweater, I wanted to show you because I was quite proud of this outfit. I have this really sleigh top that I actually stole from my mom's closet. She just kind of holds on to pieces over the years. So if you look at this and you're like, that doesn't seem like something your mom would wear now, maybe not. But she has it, and it's so freaking cute. And it pairs perfectly with these jeans. I've mentioned these before. They're from a Chinese American brand called Dawang, and they do a lot of like modern takes on like Chinese inspired fashion. So this is just like a perfect pair of baggy jeans, but it has this one kind of like distressed strip of Chinese fabric. And I'm obsessed with like how these two go together. Obviously the colors match, but also like I love a long top and then it cuts off like right above this strip. I don't know if this is satisfying to anyone else, but it's very satisfying to me. And if you're a longtime viewer, you'll recognize this bag. It's a vintage Coach bag that I got when I was in Mexico City like a little over a year ago, and I found myself not reaching for it as much in fall winter because it does have like a smaller armhole, so it's not as great for wearing over really thick coats. But as we go into spring, you're gonna see me carrying this all the freaking time. And guys, our sweater is looking so stinking cute. Like, oh my god. It might look like I haven't done that much since I last showed it to you, but I'm only using that Edinburgh like free pattern as a base. I'm still kind of adjusting it for my specific measurements. So I was doing some trial and error here, but you can see we have cast off this section of ribbing. This is gonna be like on the underside of Milo. And then we have these remaining stitches and we're basically decreasing on the sides so that it's like full length on the back. I am doing an I-cord edge. If you have looked at my knitting patterns, you'll know that I rarely do this. It basically gives you like a cleaner rounded edge on your garment. And if you look at these two patterns of mine for an example, I just do a raw edge. And A, you can stretch it out a bit during blocking, and B, like, I don't know, I feel like a raw edge sweater is in a lot of ways more my style than like a finished edge or like a ribbed edge sweater. I'm not sure why, it's just I find myself reaching for those styles more. But I do think in an instance like this where you have like a curved edge with decreases along the edge and you want it to kind of like curve and lie flat on the dog's body, an I-cord edge is a little bit more called for, and it's good practice. I am not using the exact same yarns for this. Like, some of the yarn colors are the same and some of them aren't, but it's really giving the same effect. Like, my roommate saw me working on this and she was like, you're gonna match with the dog. And I'm like, yeah, the owner's supposed to match her dog, but I'm also gonna match the dog. I mean, I would love to eventually make a matching sweater for Lucia, but I need to make myself another version of these first. I feel like I've said that in like 5 separate videos, and it's like, girl, are you ever actually gonna do it? Anyway, finishing this should be pretty straightforward. I hope to finish it tonight, although I do have to go to the gym and like edit a bunch of videos. And the next thing is gonna be the scrunchie. So I'm just gonna take like a fresh hair elastic. I know there are knit scrunchies and crochet scrunchies, but a knit scrunchie, those are usually like more like a fabric scrunchie where you have like a tube of fabric that goes around. I'll like insert photos because I don't know if I'm gonna explain this properly. Whereas with crochet scrunchies, I think they're kind of unique because you can get this more like flower ruffle look. And I feel like that's what Lucia really likes. I will say the scrunchie is probably gonna take me longer than I expect because it is crocheting. I'm planning to use just like a single strand of these mohairs. And like I mentioned earlier, I want it to be like a super fluffy scrunchie, which means I'm gonna have to like pack a ton of stitches into this elastic because I basically want it to be so fluffy that when I like wrap it around twice, it still has like a lot of ruffle to it. So yeah, I'll probably work on this tomorrow because I have brunch in the morning and then I have to record a podcast, and I like to do a pretty mindless project for my podcasts because I need enough brain RAM to like also talk at the same time. We need to figure out to eat for dinner. Guys, I wish I loved cooking. I hate cooking. Everyone's telling me to get a pet because I'm touch deprived. But I'm like, I can't even feed myself twice a day. You want me to feed someone else? And they're like, well, maybe like having someone to take care of will help you take care of yourself. And I'm like, no. Okay. Sorry, I'm not relevant. It's a video. Why are you just...
Oh, it's a video? That's even better.
This is looking...
Are you like a bite of your rigatoni?
Busted. No, fuck off.
Oh, I finished Project Hail Mary and I watched the movie. It was so good.
So good, right?
Do they have any cute designs? I might get one. Kind of want a sweatshirt.
Oh, that's it, right?
Wait! Why is it so small though?
Well, I picked the first
That
one.
one's cute though. Wait,
I thought it was bigger.
it's kind of heat.
Giving?
Yo!
I'm gonna cut this out.
Oh my gosh. It's so freaking cute, y'all. Like, look at it. I don't know why I feel the need to comment on the fact that I love the color combo, because I've basically already done this color combo and we already know I love it. So I just finished like the curving portion, and then there's some more ribbing that goes in like the top back of the sweater. It's gonna look like this. And I did block it just to even out the stitches a little bit. Also because I used a stretchy cast off for these two leg holes, just because I don't actually know like how big Milo's legs are. I think Milo himself is quite small. Lucia was telling me that it's like mostly fluff. Like I was worried this wouldn't fit over his head. And she was like, no, his head is like this big. It's just all fluff. Anyway, I did a stretchy cast off just in case, but that cast off tends to curl outwards a little bit. So I just tried to get it to lie a little bit more flat with blocking. And I thought about brushing it out, but I feel like that does make it like leave lint and random fuzz and fibers everywhere. And I mean, dogs are already leaving hair behind, so I don't think we need to add to that. And then here is the scrunchie. You know how I was saying it needs to be like super, super fluffy? I genuinely think I may have over-delivered on that. I don't want to put my hair up like in a bun right now, but if I just do a side pony, you can see that even when you wrap it 2 times around, which is like what Lucia wanted to do, it is still so freaking ruffly. Like I probably didn't need to do as many stitches as I did. I'll be honest, I still think it looks best as like a bun topper where it just wraps around 1 time. Because when you wrap it around 2 times, then obviously you kind of get like 2 layers of the ruffles. And all I did was a bunch of single crochet for the first round. That's where you can see like the really tight stitches wrapping around the elastic. And then the rest of this is pretty much all half double. That's not true, actually. I wanted the 1 row of brown to be really thin, so this is single, but the rest is half double. And there's not really any rhyme or reason to it. Like, I will just do increases as I feel necessary to maintain the ruffliness. And this is just gonna look so freaking cute with her outfits because she wears so much color. So unlike me, I feel like this will go with a lot of the stuff she wears. And the last thing I'm bringing her is this necklace that I got her from Cerie. when I did my brand deal with them, she like sent me a link to this and she was like, wait, this is so pretty. So I got this for her. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want one for myself because this is like, it's just such a cute like pink and green color combo. So perfect for spring. Lucy is actually about to get on a flight back to California and she's leaving in like an hour. So I really need to go and hand this off to her. And then I will obviously like insert some videos and photos of how Milo looks in the sweater and how she looks in the scrunchie because I can't show you that now. Oh, and the last step I like to do for every project in Milanote, if it's an idea that's already in my project ideas board, I'll just like draw a big green check mark on it. But in this case, this wasn't something I had planned for. So I will just like take some photos of it, put it in my project ideas board and draw the check mark. And I will take that little Milo dog sweater board and nest it inside my project ideas board. And I do this, I mean, I like drawing the check mark for sure, but that's also how I keep track of everything I made because I do like end of the year recaps of everything I crocheted and knit this year, and I will genuinely lose track of everything I've made. So that's kind of how I log it for myself. So if you want to try them, once again, you can just check them out using the link in my description down below. But yeah, this was such a fun video, and I have gotten requests to make a dog sweater before, and I've kind of been like, I don't want to think about how to do it. Every dog's body is different. It's too hard. But I feel like now, if I just have some very basic measurements, I can make some more for my friends' dogs. And I would like love to do it in some different colorways. They're just gonna look so cute. And this was another video where I didn't have to rip my hair out and everything more or less went according to plan. I love the small wins. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.
You left the kitchen light on and it's 2 to go to there. It's